Alright, Shalom Makim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakah, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching His word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And today I just want to tie this lesson on Great Famine. And that's one of the major plagues. Yahweh Shema shot the power of heaven and earth. It's going to bring here chiefly to America now. That's one of the major plagues that's going to come on planet Earth, chiefly here. You know, see how this place is set up, where it can come to your door. Things, not just food. This a place of convenience. Literally, everything is at the tip of your finger by the way of an app. So the Lord is going to combat that with a plethora of plagues. And one of those plagues is the famine, man. So prophecy is becoming more and more clear and obvious. It is springing up. So this is from the Irish Star, and it reads, Trump officials are panic buying toilet roll and food in anticipation of tariff shortages. So this is that panic buy lead to those empty shelves. Of course, everything's already going to shoot up. These people ultimately running like a chicken with their head cut off, man. Because it's only going to get worse. It says, matter of fact, I read just this because the title itself tells it all. The times that we're in, that these people thought that this was going to be a solution, that Trump was going to make shit him. And even the chick got in there, Kamala. That bitch, it would have still been fucked up. Because it's all about prophecy. See, the agenda that's happening on the planet Earth is the agenda of the Most High, man. He's just using Esau as part of it, man. So it says several Trump officials are reportedly panic buying. See, that's the spirit. Look, Trump if the U.S. will enter a recession, anything can happen. See, this nigga he's up with it. Like, he throwing his in. Nigga shrugging like, nigga got the shrug and I don't know shoulders. There's no surety. We seeing this place is being destroyed. The Lord is destroying this place, man. We seeing the destruction. This place is being destructured. This nigga ain't sure. But it says several Trump officials are reportedly panic buying and hoarding rolls of toilet paper and food, fearing a shortage caused by the U.S. President tariffs might wipe them away. See? So that's going to lead to those shelves being empty. And if it is some shit that is something that was a few dollars, it's $35 now. You thought you were finna just pull out a $10 bill and pay for it and get your change back. That shit $35 or whatever the case. It's only gonna get worse. But as you can see, one of those things is that food. That food, man. See, that's what's gonna make people move. So let's start off with this in the book of Ezekiel. Man, there's a spirit, man. Only evils. This is Ezekiel 5 and verse 16. It reads, When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, it shall be for their destruction. See, this is not, you know, see this right here. You're not gonna recover from this. You know, like you had the potato famine in Ireland, and you know the people recovered, and they can go back and talk about it and learn from their mistakes. Well, guess what? With America, this place, this famine, as it arises, it's not gonna die down. It's an effort to destroy, man. You know? It says, in which I would ascend to destroy you. See, it's our Hashem outside. He's the one that's claiming responsibility. No matter how it unfolds, who's doing it, it comes from, he's the source. He's the source. The Lord using Esau to, you know, these famines be man-made. Well, Esau is doing it, but yet who gave him the orders? You know? It says, and I will increase the famine upon you and will break your staff of bread. See? Because that famine is going to get, it is already going to be a shortage. And if it is on the shit high, so these people are going to be in a fucked up situation. That's going to bring forth, commotions and riots, and the people are going to be stirred up. That's why Trump already put these laws on the books to where he's going to pretty much have the military as the policeman, which he has signed already 100,000 soldiers to be on standby in his first term. Man. You don't think this now finna play out, man? So this is what we're seeing. And it say you're a staff of bread, because that's what these people hold fast to as well. For their comforts. Nigga, go ahead, you think about the restaurant. I never went here, or damn, this time I'm gonna get this. That comforts the people when they go to these restaurants, you know, this food, and you know. Well, the Lord's gonna break that, man. Because that's a form of them escaping reality as well. You know, a nigga put on a good movie, and he's totally out of this realm now. All that's gonna be broken, man. That bliss, you know what I mean? Let's get this Revelation 18 and verse 7. It reads, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. And as I mentioned concerning, you know, you have these different pleasures at the tip of your finger. Just download the app, or there's a site, whatever the case may be, big or small, being in this place right here, Babylon the Great. But even certain things, as I mentioned, could be minute, you know, running water. You turning your lights on. You know, just food in the fridge. Especially these Babylonians, they take it there. You got mukbangs, you know, overindulging and shit like that. That's why the scripture talk about how intemperance is going to be at an end. That's part of it. You see that in this perfection here, intemperance. You know, it's just the lack of discipline. Just one example, as I mentioned, mukbangs, man. That's going to be cut off. But that just show you what these people have at their hands, at their disposal. And after the video, the nigga throw it all up just to see how many, you know, eat all that chicken nuggets for views. And once he upload the video and shit, he throw it all up. Sick. But that's this place, man. So how fitting the lack of food, water, that will be a fitting plague to be sent to America, which is Babylon the Great in the scripture. So I'm gonna read it again. It reads, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. See? So as I mentioned, those things is gonna be trading. The Lord gonna really just pull the rug from under these people. Because even how this system is set up, you already have to. There's certain things that's really you need within this system. Whether you gotta have a car, you gotta have a phone. In certain instances, Wi-Fi. Certain things just for you to just have your comings and goings. So that's why there's going to be a power outage. And no more running water. So how much more that's going to trigger a nigga that he will lose it if the Wi-Fi goes out for 10 minutes. And there's been cases, people have been put to death over a Wi-Fi situation, whether they couldn't get the password or it wasn't connecting. So this is what the Lord is going to send to America, man. It says, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. And that's their pride. So this is how the Lord is going to combat the pride. Because it begins with these elites, the powers that be. Yeah, it triggers down to the people. What the scripture says, as the judge of the city, so are the people. So these are like spiritual Edomites. Here in America, these other nations, even niggas 2/3, they are spiritual Edomites because they put on that same uniform, they have that same come under that same banner, with those same mindset. They talk about the inhabitants. Niggas getting ready for the 4th of July. That's part of the uniform Edom, So it says, this is how the Lord's going to combat that pride. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. See? And she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. See, that's going to be the climax, which is World War III. But as you can see, that plague, one of those plagues, is famine, man. How fitting. You got McDonald's, man. That in itself justifies a famine to come on the land. Just that creation right there. Especially over the years as the quality has gotten. It was already fucked up, now it's gotten worse. So that in itself, you see these fast food restaurants, that justifies a famine. But these troubles as a whole, the teeth of wild beasts, and Second Ezra chapter 8 verse 50, it reads, for many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time, shall dwell in the world. See? And just going back, as I mentioned earlier, concerning those inhabitants. See, those who the misery is going to fall upon, those that are of this world. Your desires and your things that you look to requires America to be here. That's who those miseries going to fall onto. Because we're going to rejoice when these troubles happen. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah, Lord, when we part a righteous number, when these things unfold, we're not going to fall apart. Because we was anticipating these troubles, As you can see, those that dwell in the world, that those miseries going to befall them. It says because they walked in great pride. See, that's weird. They walked in great pride. So as you can see that that's how the Lord combated that pride with misery. As we just read in Revelation 18, how she was living deliciously and was being proud. And the Lord said, okay, we'll give her the famine then. Matter of fact, I'm gonna end off on this and show that that hunger will humble you. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 3, I just get to the point. Verse 3, it reads, and he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger. So that took place in the wilderness. What caused that hunger to humble us. So that's how the Lord's gonna humble the proud in this lifetime, by the way of hunger and destruction, death and destruction, man. That's just one. Hunger, that famine is one of the many plagues Yahweh Shema Shai sent into America, man. But this right here is very fitting, especially concerning this lifetime that we're in and how things are operated. So it says, and he humbled thee and suffered thee the hunger and fed thee with manna which thou knowest not, neither does thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live. And that's what we're going to hold fast to in the times of trouble, in the time of famine. We're going to eat spiritually, and that's going to physically manifest. Matter of fact, since I mentioned it, let's get this in the book of Psalm 37, and I'm going to end off on that. Because speaking on the famine, it's the Lord, it's got to be something to combat that with his chosen. And we're going to read it. Psalms 37. Yep, I'll just get to the point. Psalm 37, verse 19. It said, they shall not be ashamed in the evil times. So that's going back to being perplexed and confused, not having the answers when these troubles unfold. It says, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. See, this is what we're going to eat off of. And guess what? That's going to physically manifest, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. So that's going to be the way, that's going to be how the Lord's going to combat the famine with his chosen. He's going to use the famine for the proud. And then his word is going to combat the famine to befall his chosen, man. So yeah, I just hope it will edify. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachah, Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect that teach the word in our true faith and sincerity. Shalom.